Hello again. Happy Father's Day again. It's Father's Day in Australia today. I am a father, so I'm currently enjoying the benefits of Father's Day. I got myself a coffee this morning and some hugs. You know, it's a great Father's Day. This one's a cool one. So when I started to do the work about what is reality and where do I even start? One of the things that I noticed I was really fascinated about was that there was a lot of people seem to have this experience of two different realities occurring at exactly the same time. We might just, like, one of the other ways of saying it is do as I say, not as I do. And how it shows up is you'll find like a person will behave in a particular way, and then they're also annoyed when other people behave that way. Like, do as I say, not as I do. Kids might remember it as a kid, like your parents behaving in a particular way, you copying that behaviour or having the experience that that's the way your parents want you to behave because they behave that way, and then getting in trouble for it. So essentially, like, the reality is good. Actually, where's my other whiteboard marker? The reality is good and the reality is bad at exactly the same time. Like, there's this real experience that they're actually one. Because how do you have two opposing realities at exactly the same time? That is it's a fascinating thing if you think about it. If you start to notice and distinguish this, and some of these things, when you first see them, they're just like a speck, just something you just notice for a nanosecond. And as I've become better at this, I notice this more and more and more. It's like an internal conflict. And I've noticed them within myself. I've got a lot less now when I distinguish this. But it's an interesting one, because how do you have two different realities at the same time? Like, this reality directly opposes this one. You know, and from the kids' example, the example about the kids, like, my parents do it. This is the parents' side, but they say when I do it, it's wrong. Like, there's this meeting in the middle of two different things. But I think what's just as fascinating is this word gaslighting. That kids, we can often, where do you draw the line? Where does gaslighting stop? And so it started to become apparent that I needed a different word for the word gaslighting. Like, there's the, no pepper and salt being taken off the table and being called crazy several times a day. And then there's this experience of, taking other people's stuff that they've learned and making it yours, which is why the kids do this behaviour. The parents behave this way. The kids do it, and the parents come back at them and say it's wrong. And so the kids copy. Is it gaslighting? I don't think it is. There's got to be a line, and we might not be aware of this, but we have like what they call mirror neurons, and maybe they're responsible for it. I don't know. But what I find fascinating is that a human being can do something and say it's wrong, and these two things exist, and you'll start to notice them. And I think that this is, for me, I've done a lot of work in this area, and in my view, it's on the same. We're following that gaslighting thing down. What does that tell us about how we live our lives? And when you start to look at why you've got two different realities occurring at exactly the same time, and how much of your reality is real, and how much of that reality that isn't real came from your parents or someone else, I find that immensely fascinating. It's almost like, and there's so many different ways to look at this, but it's almost like I want to occur as smart. So instead of actually learning and staying the path from when I was a child, loving, excited and full-blown discovery, that we grab things from other people and put them into our brains, our reality, and it has an effect on how we move forward. Does it turn into this? I don't know. I think it does, but that's for another video. So yeah, just look at that one. Look at that one in your life. Like think about all the moments. There's obviously great mathematical applications for this too. This is 0 and 1. And if you were going to do the math for it, so this is, well, sorry, the other way around. This is 1, do it, and this is don't do it. So in this situation, 1 equals 0. Now that, we know that doesn't really work. I'm pretty sure. I've done a bit of math. So now we're starting to get into the juicy maths. That's cool. Now how the hell do we equate that? 1 does not equal 0. So we've got to work this one out, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Great to see you. Thanks for listening.